Hello and welcome to today's 40-minute Vinyasa Yoga slow flow class. I'm super excited to have you guys with me today. If you've never flowed with me before, hi, my name's Yelena, welcome to my channel. And if you have, then welcome back. Thanks for showing up once again. And if you guys like this kind of content, slow flows, Vinyasa flows, and any type of content that calms the mind, reduces stress, and builds strength, then make sure you hit that subscribe button below, as well as the little bell icon next to it so you'll be notified of all the new videos I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But enough of that, let's go ahead and get into the class. A yoga slow flow is one of my absolute most favorite flows to do. And you probably are wondering why, or maybe you already know from previous experience, but honestly, it helps me to go way deeper inside of myself when everything is slowed down and I have the ability to move with intention and just really bring in my inner awareness and kind of observe my thought processes, observe my inner dialogue, as well as every movement to really get to know my own body. Let's go ahead and begin on our backs. So I urge you during today's practice to really think of an area in your life where you'd like to harness and bring in more inner peace. Where would you like more peace in your life? We're going to go ahead and set an intention to start our practice today and use this slow yoga practice to reflect on that intention. Let's take a deep filling inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, big release, big sigh. Take another filling inhale. Feel the lungs expand in all 6 directions. Exhale through the mouth. And then begin to build the breath, taking it in and out of the nose. Feeling the rise and fall of the chest. We'll continue carrying this breath throughout our practice today. Hug the knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the shin, and just massage the lower back from side to side. Now this breathing, this ujjayi breath that we carry with us throughout our practice, it does so many amazing things, including helping to calm the nervous system, which plays a major role in our inner peace and the quietness of our mind or the lack thereof. Go ahead, open the arms to a T. We're going to drop those knees off to the right side. Take the gaze all the way over to the left, taking a nice gentle spinal twist to start us off. And we'll really start to notice that with our yoga practice, moving with intention, combining breath with movement, can really help to provide a calm sense of mind once you get better at it. Let's bring the knees back through center, drop them all the way over to the left, and take the gaze to the opposite side. Still building that breathing. Inhale back through center. Begin to rock yourself all the way up and down the spine until you roll all the way through, coming onto your hands and knees, and drop the seat back towards the heels. We're going to take a couple side stretches here just to warm us up before we start moving out the body. Drop that right palm out to the side and sweep the left arm up and overhead towards the right side of the room. So you make a big giant rainbow with the arm. Take the gaze underneath that left arm, tighten the lower belly, stretch and reach through the fingertips. Inhale, rise back through center and go ahead and switch sides. Left palm drops. Stretch and reach to the right hand. Inhale, rise back up, preparing our toes for what's to come so that we can get a nice gripped stance with everything we do. Let's come back onto our palms. We're gonna tuck those toes under, okay? And then we're gonna drop the seat back towards the heels. So this can be kind of an intense toe stretch, but we also are gonna work the shoulders and wrap up the arms, opening up the chest, opening up the shoulder area. So let's go ahead and we're going to wrap the right arm underneath the left, wrap them up, and we work to place the palms on top of each other. That doesn't always work. Our bones and our structures are completely different. We might grip the hands or just come as close as we possibly can. Once we've reached this point, go ahead and lift the fingers and the fist up towards the ceiling. You'll definitely feel the shoulder blades start to pull apart. Feel this in the armpits. It's a really nice stretch. And we'll go ahead and lower the arms back down, open them up, open up the chest, lift the chin. Big inhale, exhale, side out. Coming back through center, the left arm wraps underneath the right. Let's spiral it up and we'll come into eagle wrap on the opposite side. So lift those arms up towards the ceiling. Feeling that stretch along the traps. Go ahead, open those arms. Once again, lean it back, big inhale. Exhale, plant the palms down, release the toes. Gentle tap of the tops of the feet down onto the mat. That is a pretty intense toe stretch there. And now we're gonna get into our wrists before we press up into any down dogs today. Go ahead, flip those fingers to face the knees. And then we'll drop the seat back down towards the heels once again. We can kind of pedal into the wrists. Press one wrist down, one palm down, and then lift the opposite hand. Go ahead, switch sides. And we can even take these from side to side. So we can turn the fingertips outwards onto the long edge of the mat. Lift the seat from the heels and we can kind of sway from side to side. Just be gentle with yourself. Everybody's bodies are completely different. This might look completely different for you. Good, and let's go ahead and bring it back through tabletop. Just taking a couple cat-cows here. Take an inhale. Lift up through the chin, through the tailbone. Open up the chest. Lift the face. Exhale, arch the back. Rainbow the spine. Chin tucks to chest. Press the mat away from you. Inhale, coming back up. Cow pose. Let's just take a couple more of these. Syncing breath with movement and just really working to find our own expression here. So we might rock a bit from side to side, maybe move the head and the hips, just finding your own vibe, finding your own movements, what feels good to your body. This is all having to do with the process of learning about ourselves physically, as well as mentally, spiritually. But it all starts on this physical plane, which consists of our body, right? Just taking a couple more seconds here, maybe moving those hips from side to side, or maybe just taking a couple more cat-cows. They feel so nice. And then we'll go ahead, bring ourselves back through to tabletop pose, curl the toes under, hips lift up and back. Now, once we've reached our down dog, we'll go ahead and take an inhale, lift that right leg all the way up. Put a bend to the knee, spiral the hip out, stack the right hip on top of the left. Make sure to keep the shoulders and the chest squared down to the mat. And straighten that right leg back behind you. Drop it back down by the left. This time, take an inhale, left leg lifts. Good, bend the knee, left hip stacks on top of right. Straighten the leg and drop that left foot back down by the right. And then we're gonna drop back down to the knees. And we're gonna start to build our first flow here. So take an inhale, extend the right leg back behind you. Foot flexed. Take an inhale and extend that left arm long out to the front. Palm facing inward. Keep the lower belly tight, pulling the belly button back towards the spine. Finding stability, finding balance, stretching and reaching. We're gonna take 3 crunches here. Exhale, hug that left elbow in towards the right knee. Nice and slow here. Inhale, extend it back out. Exhale, hug it in, 2. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hug it back in. And on the inhale, extend it all the way back out, holding here just for a couple seconds. Really bring in the breathing here. Starting to notice if the mind is wandering. Seeing if we might be able to just focus on the breath. Taking our mind off of any discomfort, any mental chatter that we might be experiencing. And if we're having a hard time, it's totally normal. It's okay. Be easy on yourself. Exhale, plant that left palm down. Curl the left toes under, lift the knee, and extend that right leg all the way up to the sky. 3-legged dog. Good. On the exhale, hug that right knee in towards the left elbow. Cross it over to the right, back over to the left. Inhale, back up, 3-legged dog. And on the exhale, step the right foot all the way through between the hands. Back foot pivots flat to about 45 degrees. Inhale, arms stretch and reach up towards the ceiling, coming into warrior 1. Just holding here for a few breaths. We are in no rush, no hurry. Coming into a nice little slow flow with ourselves here. This combination of breath with fluid movement creates that sense of equanimity, that internal calm, clear mind. Exhale, lower the palms to heart center. And open up the back foot so that it's parallel to the back of the mat. We will turn the hips to face the front of the mat and come into warrior 2. So arms extend to a T. Take the gaze off the right fingertips, and we're still lunging nice and deeply into that right knee. Shoulder blades hug together, outer rotation, outer spiral on the hips as the tailbone tucks under and the crown of the head pulls up. Bringing back to our breathing. Let's smooth out these inhales and exhales. Wrap the left arm behind the back. Flip that right palm over. Take an inhale and sweep the right arm up and overhead, reverse warrior. If we want a little added extra support, we can always place the palm on the back leg. Exhale, bring it back down, warrior 2. Inhale, back up, reverse warrior. Coming back, warrior 2. And one more time, inhale, reverse. And then we're going to straighten the right leg. Triangle pose, extend the right arm all the way out to the side. And then find depth, inhale. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Lower belly tightens. We open up the chest nice and wide. We really want to look out for a collapsing left shoulder or chest. Open it up. It doesn't matter how far this right hand reaches down, whether it's on the mat or touching your toes. It could honestly be right here for that matter, as long as we're nice and open through the chest area. Maybe even seeing if we can float those right fingertips off the mat or off the leg. Even if just for a second. Remembering to breathe, remembering to smile. Exhale, drop the left hand, coming into a runner's lunge. Bend into the right knee on the ball of the back foot. Take an inhale, right arm lifts high, coming into lunging twist. Let's see if we can stay on the left fingertips. If you need a little bit more stability, go ahead, place that left palm down to the mat. But if you're looking for a bit more of a challenge, come up onto the fingertips. We're gonna make a couple circles with the arm in one direction. And then take it to the other direction. Drop the right fingertips down, step that right foot back to meet the left. And we'll take our vinyasa. Now, this is lowering down into the push-up. If you need to drop the knees, you can go ahead and drop the chest and then press up into up dog. Or you can take chaturanga, keep the elbows close to the rib cage, lower to the bottom. Inhale, pressing the palms into the mat, opening and lifting through the chest and the chin, shoulder blades hug together. Upward facing dog. Good. And on the exhale, curl the toes under, coming back to down dog. Give those feet just a little pedal. Taking a couple breaths, bringing it in nice and smooth. And then we'll drop the knees back down to the mat. How are we feeling so far? Good. From here, take an inhale, extend the left leg back behind you. And then stretch and reach those right fingertips forward, keeping the palm facing the inside. 3 slow, controlled crunches here. Exhale, hug it in, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, extend it long. Exhale. Inhale. And one more. Hug it in. Stretch and reach. And then holding right here, use the breath. Tightening the lower belly. Drop the right palm down, curl the right toes under and lift that knee. 3-legged dog, right leg extends up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Over to the left elbow. Back to the right. Inhale, 3-legged dog, back up. And on the exhale, step it all the way through. That back foot pivots flat to about 45 degrees. Or if it was a clock hand, I would say 2 o'clock. Inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior 1. Settling in here, getting nice and comfortable. Now we do have the choice a lot of times, but it takes a lot of work. We can either be enemies with or make peace with our mind, with our own internal dialogue. It can become our enemy or our friend. But I'll tell you what, it sure does feel nice to have that inner balance, that harmony, and be in agreement with the internal dialogue most of the time. Even though sometimes the mind just won't always be 100% in alignment, and that's okay. We just have to be able to decipher the difference, right? Because we are not our thoughts. Bring the palm to heart center. Open up that back foot, make it parallel to the back of the mat, and then open the arms to a T as we square the body, facing the long edge of the mat. Arms to a T, gaze is off the left fingertips. Shoulder blades pull together, tailbone tucks under. Bring in that breathing. Sinking in just a bit deeper if possible. Wrap the right arm behind the back. Left arm reaches up and overhead, reverse warrior. Nice back bend. Still bringing in the breath in and out of the nose. Exhale, back down, warrior two, arms to a T. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhale, reverse warrior. That leg should be feeling really good about now. Go ahead, straighten the left leg, extend the left arm all the way out to the side, and then begin to bring it down to find its place on the ankle, the shin, or the mat. And take an inhale, right arm reaches up. Triangle pose. The gaze should be up towards the right fingers, chest open nice and wide. Big heart opener here. And really helps to build that core strength. See if we can float the left fingertips off the leg or off the floor. Good, and then bring that right hand back down to the mat. Roll to the ball of the back foot. Take an inhale. Left arm lifts. Lunging twist. See if we can come up onto the right fingertips. A couple big circles in the first direction. And then let's take it to the other side. Good, drop the left palm down to the mat. Left foot meets the right. And whatever version you'd like to take here, either drop the knees or take chaturanga, full push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, coming back to down dog. Once again, pedaling out the feet here. Moving the hips from side to side. Shaking out the head, yes and no. All right, so we're about halfway through here. Let's go ahead and continue on. From your downward facing dog, we're gonna go ahead and shift it forward into plank pose. Coming right into our plank. And from here, we have the option of moving into side plank. If you'd like to do that, go ahead, roll to the outer edge of the left foot, stack the right foot on top. If you'd like to take supported side plank, you can drop that left knee down and open the hip all the way up to the right. Reach the right arm up. Either one works. I'm gonna stay here just for a couple seconds. That left palm should be directly underneath the left shoulder if you're in full plank. Use the breath. And we'll bring that right hand to the hip. Step the right foot all the way to the front of the mat. And we're going to heel toe the right foot to the right corner, bringing both palms down inside of the right foot. And then we can drop the forearms down. We want to keep the left knee up. We're going to take a little rest here in an active dragon stretch. Active meaning that the knee is not down on the mat. Now, if you would like to place the knee down, that's always an option as well. You just have to kind of see how it's working with your body. And bring in the breath. Maybe even rocking into it a bit. Getting into the hips. Making a couple circles. Good. Let's plant both palms back down inside of the right foot. Bring the right hand on the outside of the right foot, and then we're gonna step the left foot all the way up to meet the right. Take an inhale. Arms reach high, coming into chair pose. Use the breath. Holding here just for a few seconds. Exhale, dive it forward towards the knees. Bring the head nice and close to the knees. And then we're going to use our 2 first fingers and our thumb to bind the right big toe. And we're going to take an inhale, bring the left hand to the hip, and stand tall. Bring that right leg out in front of you. It may work better for some of us to bend the knee and hold just like this. Either one works perfectly fine. And we'll extend that leg out in front of us. Standing up nice and tall, really rooting, grounding down into the left foot. Good. Maybe even playing around here. If you fall out of it, no big deal. Grabbing onto the shin and seeing if you can bring your head in. And then we're going to swing that right leg back behind us with lots of control. The arms will come back like 2 big wings. Airplane pose. Helping to bring in this element of balance into the body, into our yoga practice. Working to find what's called a drishti. This is a focal point somewhere, non-moving on the wall or on the floor, that we can just focus our attention. Almost a meditation of some sort. Good. Drop the left fingertips outside to the corner of the mat. Inhale, right arm lifts, keeping the right leg suspended in midair. That right foot flexes. And we're in our Halfmoon Pose. Use the breath. And finally, we can drop the right fingertips down. Begin to bend the left knee, tuck the right knee back behind it. And now we can either stay right here, maybe even bring the left arm up to the ceiling, taking a little curtsy squat with a twist. Drop the left fingertips down, step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat, left foot meets it, and take your push up to the bottom. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. We've got one more side to go before we get the body nice and stretched out. And here we go, shift it forward into plank pose. And yogi's choice, you can take full plank or supported side plank. Focus on the breathing. Step that left foot all the way through to the front of the mat, heel toe it out to the left edge of the mat, and then we'll bring both palms inside. An option of either taking active dragon stretch or dropping the back knee. Drop those forearms down if possible. Chin tucks to chest. Now, there are a lot of things in our everyday lives that prevent us from reaching this state of inner peace that all of us so much deserve and desire. We have so much stress, so much worry from our jobs, the expectations that are placed on us from other people, the expectations we place on ourselves for wanting to be a good spouse, a good parent, focusing on the numbers in our bank accounts, so many things. Go ahead, make those circles, get into the hips, rock back and forth. And with that said, we must bring in an element of practice like yoga or meditation or both to help us find just a little bit of inner peace from time to time. All right, guys, plant those palms back down into the mat. Left palm comes back outside of the left foot, and we're gonna step that back foot up to meet the left. Take an inhale, arms reach high. Utkatasana chair pose. Use the breath. Exhale, dive it forward towards the knees, nice big forward fold. Maybe even this time wrap those arms around the legs, pull yourself in if possible. Go ahead and release. We'll use the first two fingers and thumb to bind that big left toe, or we can always use the option of grabbing onto the knee. Bring the right hand to the hip. Take an inhale and stand tall. Extend that left leg out in front of you. Standing tall, trying to find our balance. Finding that drishti, that focal point. Maybe even grabbing onto the calf, the shin, and being playful, just seeing if we can bring the head towards the leg, and then with lots of control, swing that left leg all the way back. Arms stretch and reach in the same direction. Two big giant wings. Airplane pose. And just like when we fall out of balance in life, we always find our way back in. So doing the exact same thing right here on our yoga mat, whether we wobble, we shake, we're always finding our way back in somehow, some way. We never give up. Good. Drop the right fingertips to the corner of the mat. Open the hips to the left. Stretch and reach to the left fingertips, coming into Halfmoon Pose. Left foot flexed. Pelvis and left leg suspended in midair, rooting and grounding down into the right foot. Focusing on the breathing. Then begin to drop the left fingertips, bend that right knee. Tuck the left knee behind. Take an inhale, right arm lifts. Take that twist in your curtsy squat. Make this count, we're almost there. Good, drop the right fingertips down, step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Right foot meets it and take your vinyasa, lower down into the push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. From here, go ahead, drop down onto the knees. Let's rise onto our knees. We're gonna take a couple camel twists here. So nice back bend, starting to get the heart rate lowered, really working to smooth out our breathing. You may either bring the palms to the small of the back or work to reach back for each heel. Let's go ahead and start on the right side. So if you want to bring the palm to the small of the right back, let's go ahead and sweep that left arm all the way up and over to the right side. Maybe even working to drop the palm back. And then we're going to sweep that left arm all the way down and bring it back to the other heel or small of the back as you swoop the right arm up to the left. And let's take one more round back to the right. And take it to the left. Good. Dropping it back down to tabletop. Curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back, and then walk the feet all the way up towards the hands. Take an inhale to peek up, flat back. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, rise, root to rise, arms reach high. Exhale, lower the palms to heart center. Take an inhale and take a quarter wide step turn to the left. So we're gonna open it up, feet nice and wide, way more than hips distance apart here. We're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold. So we want the toes to be facing forward, feet parallel to each other, and we're going to extend those arms out to a T, fold forward, use your 2 first fingers and thumb to bind the big toes. Take an inhale, lift up, flat back. Exhale, fold it in. Allow the elbows to splay out to the sides and work to straighten the legs. Pull the chest in. You may feel the release in the lower back region. And just while we take this time to stretch out the body, I'd like for you guys to just think about what inner peace really means to you. What does that look like in your eyes? We all perceive things so differently. Couple more seconds. Inhale, rise back up. Gaze forward. We're gonna go ahead and release the bind on the toes, and we're going to pivot turn to face the back of the mat. Drop the back knee down, release the top of the foot, and shift the weight back half split. So we'll keep the hips directly over the knee. Another approach is also to drop the seat back, taking more of a runner stretch here, a little bit deeper, working on that flexibility. Both approaches are perfectly fine. We can also play around with keeping the foot flexed or the toes pointed. Now, in my eyes, inner peace means a sense of calm, inner harmony, being in balance, as well as being emotionally stable, emotionally intelligent, amongst many other things. Now, when we actually put in the work, you guys, to find this inner peace, to bring in this sense of inner peace, you wouldn't believe the changes that begin to happen in your everyday life. Take an inhale, bend back into the left knee, curl the right toes under, lift the right knee, and we're gonna take a nice stroll back over towards the front of the mat. And we'll see this on the other side. Drop that left knee, release the top of the foot, and take your half split stretch. But yes, crazy things begin to happen. You begin to accept the way that everything is for what it is. You begin to accept yourself for who you are. It's actually pretty amazing how not affected you become by things external to your life. Of course, there's always going to be little things that trigger us from time to time, but it's truly amazing the progress that you can make. And in my opinion, one way of doing it is by really dedicating yourself to a yoga practice. You have to put in the work, meet the universe halfway. Take an inhale, stretch back into that right knee. Bring the right leg back to meet the left. And shift the weight into the right or left hip. Swing those legs all the way around to the front and lower down onto the back. Extend both legs up towards the ceiling, coming into candlestick pose. And from here, we're gonna cross the right ankle over the left thigh. We're gonna come into figure 4 pose. You may just wanna bend the knee right here. We work to open up the hip, the outer hip, hip flexors by pressing this leg in towards the chest. Now, if you'd like to take it a bit deeper, we can take the right hand and place it in between the legs here and wrap this left arm around the left thigh and work to pull it in towards the chest this way. Bringing in the breath. I hope you're feeling much more calm, at ease, bringing in a sense of refresh to the body and a nice cleansing feeling to the mind. Extend that left leg all the way back up, half candlestick. Release the bind if you've taken it, bring the right leg to meet it. Maybe we can point and flex through the feet. And then we'll switch sides. Bring that left ankle on top of the right thigh, bend the right knee. If you'd like to take the bind, go ahead and do so. And we'll focus on our breathing. Good. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg back up. Bring the left leg to meet it. Point and flex one last time. And then we're going to slowly lower the feet all the way down to the mat as one single unit. Nice and slow. Lots of control. Extend both feet out to the corners of the mat and just always remember that we can have all the money in the entire world, as many friends as we possibly can think of, the coolest cars, the best outfits, but honestly, life is just not as good as it possibly can be until we have cultivated that sense of inner peace. That is the true richness in life. That's when you've made it. That's when you've really reached success. All right, take rest. Shavasana. Begin to wiggle through the fingers and toes. Gently turn the head from side to side. Take a big filling inhale as you extend the arms long overhead and point through the toes, taking a full body stretch, just like first thing in the morning. Release the breath. Let's go ahead and turn to your favorite side, rolling onto the side hip, coming into fetal position. And then slowly pressing yourself all the way back up to a seated position at the front of the mat. Thank you so much for joining me for this 40-minute all levels Vinyasa yoga slow flow. I truly appreciate having you all here today. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, you benefited from these yoga classes, make sure you hit that like button below so that we can be found and share the love with everyone we come in contact with. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Share this with your friends. Leave us a comment. Let us know what inner peace looks like to you and what practices other than yoga you utilize in your life to bring that sense of inner peace. And as always, my friends, namaste. Peace.